Welcome back to Excel. This is a mental evolution podcast where we're diving into mental performance strategies to help you thrive in any sport and performance that comes your way. I'm Dr. Seth Rose, and today is episode 60, where we're tackling a challenge that everybody faces: distractions. Whether you're in the middle of a workout, a big presentation, even driving, or just trying to get through your day, distractions are bound to happen. But how we handle them really makes all the difference, right? Distractions are inevitable. Maybe it's a noisy environment, a stray thought that you have coming through, or an unexpected interruption. And in the heat of the moment, distractions can really feel overwhelming and they pull us away from what matters most. It's easy to fall into a trap of feeling frustrated or like you've lost control. But here's the key thing: distractions are not the problem, but it's how we respond to them. In fact, trying to avoid distractions entirely isn't necessarily a healthy strategy. That's really where we call it avoidance oriented coping. And it can work in the short term, but it can leave us more stressed, even more distracted when things don't go as planned. And they really don't help us for the long term. So the challenge isn't to eliminate distractions altogether. That's unrealistic. The real challenge is learning how to refocus and put your power on what you can control in the present moment. It's easy to get lost in the frustration of being distracted, but the key is knowing that it's perfectly normal. It's okay to get distracted. It's just not okay to stay there. So how do we handle distractions effectively? Really, the first step is to identify what things do distract you, and just jotting things down or bringing to mind the things that typically pull your focus away from what you're doing. There's a lot of power in that. That's that self-awareness, which is really foundational with mental performance. The second step is acceptance, acknowledging that distractions are part of the process, and really every high performer is facing them. It's not a sign of weakness or failure. The next time you get distracted, instead of beating yourself up or having regret of not being productive after the fact, just simply recognize it and move forward. That's a great way that you can handle those distractions effectively, is just that acceptance. The next step is the refocusing piece, right? It's important to recognize how to refocus after you get distracted. This is where you put your power back into the present moment. This is where we focus on the things that we have control over. And you might ask yourself, what's important right now? Where that's a great prioritization question is, what's the important thing that I need to be doing right now? And redirecting your attention to the task at hand by using strategies like breathing to help you reset and refocus, using mental cues that are either visual or verbal. So maybe it's a visual cue where you have something on your desk that when you see it, it reminds you to take a breath and to refocus. Or maybe you tell yourself to focus or to breathe or say right now, right here. These phrases or keywords or visual cues are triggers that help bring your attention back to the present moment. And that's for a later episode where we talk about this framework, but really it comes down to this idea of recognizing when you get distracted by the things that you have thought about already, resetting with some sort of breath or trigger, and then refocusing with that question to prioritize and reprioritize. What's the most important thing right now that I need to be doing? So hopefully that helps you with this mindset shift and accepting that distractions are going to happen, treating them as part of the process rather than obstacles, handling them effectively. And the goal isn't to avoid them. Remember, we want to refocus with intention. We don't want to continue with this avoidance-oriented coping behavior. We want very effective and adaptive coping mechanisms. So that way, every time you bring your attention back, you're strengthening your ability to be present in the moment and maintain the control wherever your focus goes. So hopefully that helped you out today. Thanks for listening to another episode. I really hope that these episodes are being impactful. That's kind of one of my goals for 2025 is really, I don't care too much about like visibility. I just want to make sure that I'm being impactful and giving you guys things to work on that you might be struggling with. Thanks for sticking around, and we'll catch you on the next one.